So Jack, if you were to have any advice for anybody that's really looking to have more purpose in their life and just feel like, that big word purpose and how do I find it and what's the big thing for me, what could you share with people? Any insights there?
Well, I think I would share a couple of things. Number one of the techniques I teach for purpose is to do what I call a joy review, which is to go back over your life and ask yourself, where have I experienced the most joy, the most aliveness? And basically I say joy is your feedback system. It's the GPS telling you you're on course. And so if you look back and then ask, is there a pattern to all these? So when I look back over my life, I was always teaching. I was always like a leader in the Boy Scouts. I was a Hawaii teacher at the church. I went to a military school for some years, and I was the captain of a company, and then I was the vice president of my fraternity, and then I taught inner city high school, and then I'm now teaching teachers and teaching other people. And so I'm most alive when I am on stage inspiring people with stories like Chicken Soup for the Soul and empowering them with tools like in my book, The Success Principles. So my purpose ends up being inspiring and empowering people to live their highest vision in a context of love and joy. Now, another way to get to that is to say, what are two qualities that most describe you? That your friends would say, oh, she's this, she's that. Mm-hmm. She's alive. She's like my wife. She's spontaneous and authentic. She will strip off all her clothes and jump in the ocean. If she doesn't have a bathing suit, she won't care. If we're at a party and we're at one of those big fundraisers and people are sitting around and it's boring, she'll just get up and go to another table. People go, where'd your wife go? And I say, well, she went looking for a better conversation to be my guest. Because she doesn't like to be bored. And so she's just like authentic and real, and she's not going to try to impress you. She's going to live her life. And so you look for those two qualities. For someone else, it might be organized and disciplined. Like they might end up being a professional organizer, or a karate teacher, or whatever. And so you look at what are those two qualities, and then you ask yourself, how do I most enjoy expressing those qualities? And so for me, it's inspiring and empowering people. So love and joy are my two qualities, inspiring and empowering people. And then I ask the question, if you could change, if the world was working perfectly according to you, what would that look like? Well, to me, everyone will be living their highest vision. To someone else, it might be everyone's living an ecologically sustainable life. For someone else, it might be everyone's treating everyone else with respect and dignity. Now, what happens is, my belief is you're supposed to use your two best qualities to express them in the way that you love to bring about this thing you just said, how the world would look if it was working perfectly for everybody. Mm-hmm. So that's another way to get at it. And there are guided visualizations where you can ask a higher power or a wise person to come in and say, give me a gift that would symbolize my purpose. So the first time I did that, I got a golden heart in a box, which obviously represented love. Mm-hmm. But then it started to smile, which represented joy. So love and joy again came through. Right. So I believe we're each born with a unique inborn purpose, that the form of its expression can evolve over time, but that when we're living our life in alignment with that purpose, not only are we happy and fulfilled, but we're happy and we're also fulfilled, is what I meant to say. And so if you're not feeling fulfilled and you're not feeling happy, it means you're off course. Mm-hmm. Joy is your guidance system that you're doing the thing you're meant to do. Mm-hmm. And so that for me, and then the value of that is I get to live a joyful life. It's meaningful. People are attracted to me who want to learn what I have to teach. I don't have to be out there so hard trying to get everyone to come to my seminar. Some people may want to go to a Tony Robbins seminar, come to Jack Canfield, work with Brian Tracy, work with you, whatever. And they'll be attracted to the vibration and the teaching that you're putting out because that's what they need. Someone else may need something totally different at that stage in the evolution of their life.
Yes. One last question about that. Earlier today you were sharing with me about, so if you have this purpose and then your goals are the small steps that you take towards that purpose. So it's like every day people can have purpose in their lives because there's a big purpose and then there's the small goals that are in alignment with
Exactly. So literally I can fulfill my purpose by doing an interview like this with you and helping people be clear about their purpose. I can fulfill it by running a workshop. I can fulfill it by coaching people. I can fulfill it by being a good parent to my children and my staff. I can be a person who helps someone on an airplane ride that's sitting next to me when I'm flying to Atlanta 2 days from now, whatever. And so I can write books about it. I can do blogs about it. I can, I was saying to you earlier today that your goals are things you do that have a concrete ending. You know, I'm going to sell this many books. I'm going to have that many people in my seminar. I'm going to watch my kids graduate from college. I'm going to make sure my company has this much profit, and everyone says on a scale of 1 to 10, I love working here at the level of a 9, you know, whatever.
Right.
And so those are all measurable. Goals are measurable, and you can achieve them. My belief about purpose is you never really get there. It's like it's the thing that provides you with the vision of where you're going. For instance, if we decide to walk east, because we're in California, walking west would be in the ocean, but let's say we're walking, the horizon keeps moving forward. When I get to Ventura, the next horizon is LA, and then I get to LA, the next horizon is Phoenix or whatever. So I never quite really get there, but I'm always moving in that direction of my purpose. And then the goals are like, well, I'm going to get to Phoenix, and I'm going to get to, you know, Tempe, and I'm going to get to, you know, Oklahoma City or whatever. And that allows us to set something concrete that we can then measure and we can feel good about when we get there. Otherwise, we're always like, well, I never quite fulfilled my purpose. Well, you're fulfilling it every day. Yeah. And the other thing I share with you, I think is valuable too for people watching this, is when you get in touch with what you think is your purpose, ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I feel I'm living that purpose? And if it's less than a 10, ask yourself, what would I have to do to make it a 10? And you don't have to quit your job necessarily to fulfill your purpose. You can start doing that purpose in your job right now. I had a woman in a workshop who realized that she wanted to encourage and support and empower people, but she was a secretary. And she thought, well, the bosses have the power to do that. Mm-hmm. But she realized every day I can tell people in the office, hey, you're doing a great job. I really appreciate that. You know, keep it up, whatever. And after about 3 months of doing that, the managers came to her and said, we want to promote you.
Wow.
You know, because she was living, a lot of times we think we have to go somewhere else. You can if you need to, mm-hmm. like leave that job, find something, right. the form of which feels more aligned. But we can fulfill our purpose anywhere.
Anywhere, every day. Thank you so much.
You're so
Jack.
welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.